needless to say, viewers at home, we have seen other business people whose businesses are located at ESWATINI industrial sites and surrounding areas coming to monitor the situation so that they could also understand if their establishments were safe. We're going to get a full report with all details tomorrow. And now we carry on with our news bulletin. Attempts to have a march to deliver petitions in the capital city today were unsuccessful as the Royal ESWATINI Police Service dispersed the crowds. This follows a statement from the Police National Commissioner yesterday stating that this march is illegal and it should not take place. We have a report.
Efforts by the Public Sector Association members in the Kingdom to deliver a petition today in different ministries in Mbabane proved futile as they were turned back. They gathered at the Coronation Park in Mbabane as early as 8 a.m. Leaders of the Workers' Union and senior members of the Royal ESWATINI Police Service were seen engaging in a conversation as police stated clearly that delivering the petition was illegal as per an announcement by the National Commissioner yesterday evening. This, however, did not dent the spirit of Public Sector Association members as they gathered inside streets and started demonstrating. Police fired tear gas to disperse the crowd and members of the union ran in different directions. According to members of the unions, part of their grievances is salary review. Amongst other things, some streets were blocked by stones in Mbabane town as protesters continued with their demonstrations. Members of the security forces, however, made sure that the situation returned to normal. I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Kainsile Mabuza, Mbabane.
Buses ferrying protesters from the Northern Hoho region were turned back at Ngoyoyo this morning. These buses were ferrying people who were going to the illegal protest in the capital city. However, their trip was not successful as most of them left the buses and had to find their way home on foot. We have a report.
Buses carrying members of the Public Sector Association were turned back at Ngoyoyo under the Hoho region today. The presence of security forces was seen controlling the traffic and managing the situation as there were also illegal toll gates where protesters blocked the road and demanded money from motorists. The buses that were turned back were carrying members of the Public Sector Association who attempted to deliver a petition in Mbabane today, and it was unsuccessful following the statement by the National Commissioner prohibiting the march. It is observed that after members of the security forces were seen in Ngoyoyo, the situation returned to normal. I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Linda Shongwe, Ngoyoyo.
Street vendors in the Mandini bus rank have been frustrated over the past few days following the current unrest. This is because the protests have actually driven people away from the city center, and therefore their produce seems to be going to waste. We have a report.
Lesibili livephelele ngosithi namhla sitohlola sitolahla indvodwe yasonakalela nasethi sibulawa indlala nenyanga nayo iphelile sathi nesiboma stand batasithini
sibonile ukuthi ngasi namaphoyisa abekana khweshisa nonke lato ankhweshisa nonke
ayakhweshisa bona laba baleka inkinga babesebedala kithi babe manje nathi vele ukhanze ukuthi sesiyesaphi sesifisa lokubaleka cha wona asihluke kusicosha manje nje kulesive lesibese sibalekela la kithi
sengifike kulahla onke lamalanga ngiyafika ekseni into okhokha lokhodile ngilahla onke lamalanga ngiyalahla nangibhanana nje nanyalo ngibonile ngilahla
Ingabe maki imali boyithengisa ngelanga seyehle kanganani?
Mana mangikhona ukunekhuluma ngoba ngase ngidlule iBP kanti sengithi iBP seyitangiqala ke njalo ngenzaba yokucabanga le mali. Namhlanje ngi20 ngiyathi nje singabe ngidawulala ngemali engaka. Kude ngaba na 80
The case of the members of parliament did not continue today at the High Court following the fact that the judge read out a postponement. She stated that there are housekeeping issues that had to be deliberated upon. However, they were deliberated upon timely and the case is going to continue tomorrow. We have a report.
Today it was expected to be the first day of trial of the members of parliament, Honorable Bakete Mambuza and Honorable Mthandeni Dube at the High Court. However, the matter did not continue as Judge Mamsi Dlamini entered the court and said that after deliberations of all council and chambers, there are issues that need to be attended to and fixed by both parties. She stated that by consent, the trial of the two MPs, Bakete and Mthandeni Dube, is postponed to the 16th and 17th of November, and thereafter it shall proceed from the 6th to the 9th of December. However, just before the judge said that, actually before she entered the court, the members of parliament had an argument with their council representatives, asking why they agreed to go to the judge's chambers without consulting them. However, as the judge read out the postponement of the case, Baktete's representation asked to fix it and continue tomorrow. The councils then met to deliberate on the issues and the case is going to continue tomorrow at the High Court. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News. Mbabane.
Mani, kumbula kutsi kuchawulana nekutsinzana, ungathelelana i-COVID-19. Qaphela, kumbula kutsi kubambelana sinatfwa engilasini yinye nako kungathelelana i-COVID-19. Ungachubeki, kumbula kuvikela labaseceleni kwakho ngekutsimlela ingosela. Bagcini besive, asente kuhamba ngemigomo ekuvikela i-COVID-19. Indlela lensha yetfu sonke ekuphila kute sitigcine siphephile kanye nesive sonke asikhumbutane njalo ngalesikutshelwa litiko letemphilo nge-COVID-19 asikwende konke gcoka sifonyo geza tandla ngensipho nemanti lahambako gcina umkhatsi uphindze ugweme ticubu mgcini wesive ungapheli mandla i-COVID ingakapheli.
1, 2, 3 shaya bola
Kaze baphela buhlungu bami bengingatholi bantwana. Namhla senginayo umuntu engixoxa naye, ngisidlala naye. Manje ngiyayibonga nahlelo lwa foster care program lolwangilethela wena mfana wami. Namhla senginalo nami uthundulo lwami lwakusasa. Sengiyade ukuthi sekukhona umuntu engihlala naye lesixoxa naye.
Bantwa bethu foster care help raise the future. Bethembethine.
Do it all from the palm of your hand. With the Eswatini Ministry of Health Alert app, you can get access to the app by getting the link from the Eswatini Ministry of Health social media pages and by scanning the QR code found on posters. Use the WhatsApp number 79436585 and send hi. Then, following the prompts, you can get to register for your COVID-19 jab. Get the latest updates on COVID-19 and even get access to a healthcare professional. There's so much more at your fingertips with the Eswatini Ministry of Health. Do it all. Vaccinate, wash your hands, and wear a mask.
Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. I'd also like to take this opportunity and welcome all of our viewers who have just tuned into channel Yemaswati News. Mr. Walter Bennett today stated that during an interview with channel Yemaswati reporters, there are other amicable solutions to any grievances that people may have in the Kingdom of Eswatini. He stated that following the constitution word for word might actually be a quicker solution rather than the protests that become violent countrywide. We have a report. Following the current political unrest in the Kingdom of Eswatini that has seen many strikes erupting all over the country, Channel Yemaswati reporters today conducted an interview with Mr. Walter Bennett, who is a veteran Liswati, who is also a businessman and who is very rich in the history of Yemaswati. Mr. Walter Bennett stated that resorting to violence and also destruction of property is not one way of finding an amicable solution, because in the true nature of Yemaswati, we are known to be respectful and to follow protocol. Bennett stated that the Kingdom of Eswatini has the very right channels by which these kinds of matters are resolved. He stated that if the Joint House would sit at the House of Parliament and vote on this matter, the matter could actually be followed in the right path and also attended to accordingly.
But asikwendeni bekunene la isipolweni ngekwakuthi kusasa noma kungendeka kukwendeke kuyafuneka nami ngiqhubeke ngivotele leto tinguquko lesetibusisiwe eveni tibusiswe ngemaswati.
Mr. Bennett also stated that there have been many other strikes and petition deliveries before in the Kingdom of Eswatini that were peaceful and they all yielded good results. He stated that Yemaswati are known to be respectful, and he highly recommends that Yemaswati should continue carrying themselves with respect and humbleness in order to solve these problems.
Bakhona ke la bathi kuthulwe kakhulu kangwane faneke sihlushwa ngule social media. Mina enganginayo angiyathi nekuthi angifisi nalokuba ku yabona angifisi ngoba imedia yonke inebantu labayiqhubayo, kunemthetho loyiqhubayo. Labo Twitter bathi phethe sibonile nale nishuqo leminye bakhutana labanye kulama protest change asho lomnyathi hey ungakwendi lokho sakubona naze bebheni lomnye adonsa aliphoyisa ngeuniform alinama hayi ngelunya. It doesn't change the message kwekuthi sicela nathi tinguquko ngiyabekisa tekukhetha ndunankulu ngendlela lensha.
He concluded by inviting the government of the Kingdom of Eswatini, their Majesty's advisors, as well as Kulu to also intervene and have a voice in this.
But siyaqela ulmenda athathe isigaba sakhe, emabandla engwenyama athathe isigaba sakhe, laselithini emabandla athathe isigaba bobabe boshifu.
Mr. Walter Bennett urged all the protesters to please consider the fact that the Kingdom of Eswatini has built so much, and therefore there should be other solutions as to which these grievances can be attended to in a more safe and peaceful way. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimali Mavuso in Babane. Today, the presidents and leaders of the public sector associations had a press conference after their failed attempts to deliver petitions at the various ministries in Babane. At this press conference, they stated that they felt as if the protest was actually very illegal because they had taken all the necessary steps and gone through all the channels that they were supposed to go through beforehand. We have a report. Since the march to deliver petitions was not successful today, the leaders of the associations today held a press conference in the afternoon to explain their side of the incident. They stated that the last time when they were making arrangements for this march, everything had been done successfully and they had the go-ahead to actually continue with the march today. However, following the statements by the National Commissioner of Police yesterday, they feel it was very illegal for the National Commissioner to issue such a statement because the legislation that covers that clearly states that there should be a certain period of time that protesters are given whenever their protest is being cancelled.
Sihamba sihlukana nabo sivumelekile. Masipala wasiniketa certificate lesisho ukuthi sivumelekile kumashe emgwaqweni. Ubese ke kubanana nge section 9 lothi commissioner angawumisa umshuqo ngekubuka ipublic safety. But ke lo mthetho loyo uphindze uchaze lokuthi ukwenta lokho bese labo labalungiselela lo mshuqo ubanikete reasonable time, because akusiko final lalasuka kwendile. Lo reasonable time wendela ukuthi nakasiniketa asitshele ukuthi uyakuvimba ungasenetisi leti zakhe laso sivimbela tona sitawukhona ke enkantolo siyokuchallenge lo.
They also disputed the fact that they sometimes cause damage to property and also have unpeaceful marches, because ever since they started marching, their intention was to deliver petitions and also do it peacefully.
But sithi-ke asikubeke ukucaca ukuthi lento yamaphoyisa siyayikondema.
I'm Khanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News, Mbabane.
A widow-headed family of 5 from Tulwane is asking for assistance following the fact that their house was gutted down by fire in broad daylight. This family does not have any source of income currently. Let's have a report.
A family of 5 at New Tulwane, a family that is headed by a widow, is asking for help from the nation. This comes after their house was torched down by fire. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
So kungiloko kwanye lokusetela ngihlala khona ngihlala kamakhelwane ukuthi ngoba kusetela ngihlala khona ke nginebamfana labang bang4 bampa bamshothe sing5 ke nami ngihledi angisebenzi emadokudi. Okay, nangabe khona labangasita khona abantu benkosi bakhona ukuthi basite ngaloko lapha sita nabo ngoba noma ngabe sekuyini ukuthi ngikhona ngoba bayafunza kufunza yebo kuna kholwa value but bayafunza bonke.
Patrick Mabuza, who's a community member at New Tulwane, is pleading with the nation to bring forth whatever they can to their family, especially building materials.
Washa konke ngisho kwesikolo kude ngisho kunye lokwasala ngisho kudla kude lokwasala basala neuniform yesikolo labasala nayo emtimbeni. Ukunyalo nje bahleli phase esihlahla labahleli khona. Bakhukhubele nje abanangubo abanani siyacela tinini intenkosi ukuthi mane tisiside tisibambise telekelele ngako letinako nje letikutholako noma lesingabathola labanye bamane basakhele noma likhukhwanyana nje lendlu bamane batokhona kuphepha bahlale nabo njengalabanye.
For those who can assist the Mhlanga family, can contact the number 7654-4366, 7654-4366. For Yemaswati channel, I'm Kerry Carlos, New Tulwane, Macacheni.
And with that, viewers at home, we have come to the inevitable end of our news bulletin. But before signing off, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines once again. Attempts to deliver a petition during an illegal strike today in the capital city were unsuccessful. Mr. Walter Bennett is calling for a peaceful discourse in all the grievances that people may have in the country. And finally, today, the leaders of the public associations had a press briefing whereby they stated that their reasons of carrying on with the attempts to have the strike was actually because they felt that everything was right in order. Thank you very much for staying with us. I do hope you're going to have a good night. And when I leave, I'm going to leave you with a message from the Ministry of Health, the National Disaster Management Agency, sponsored by UNICEF on the Mgcini Receiver campaign. Please do have a good night and may God bless you.